There have been a lot of guides about Floor 7. It's completely changed the meta. It's added a whole ton of new items. Everyone's trying to do Floor 7. It's just going to make you a whole ton of money, and it also just gives a lot of XP. However, there's not really any guides about what you need for Floor 7. So here I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do Floor 7 with as a Berserk. So obviously to start with, you're going to need a withered 5-star livid dagger. Fabled also worked, but you're also gonna want a hot potato book. It pretty much just all level all level 5 enchants. I just have sixes on here because that's how I bought it. You're gonna especially just want Siphon as it's the new best enchantment compared to Lifesteal. But if you want to copy the enchants, they're right here available for you. But yeah, I've Withered as it just provides that extra small amount of damage, and yeah. So yeah, 5-starred Withered Livid Dagger that with 10 hot potato books, that should be the bare minimum. It's gonna cost you a couple million coins, but you can also add Fabled onto it if you can't afford the Wither Blood. Next up, you're going to want Shadow Assassin armor, full Shadow Assassin armor. I have fragged my leggings and chestplate as I'm just adding the extra bonus on. I don't think you need the frags, but if you want to, you can add them on. It's going to set you back about 4.5 million per piece, as they each fetch for about 450,000 coins each at the time, and you're going to need 8 of them. Secondly, you're going to need your grappling hook and aspect of the end. That's just a given for dungeons. You're going to want a lot of mobility, getting secrets, doing rooms. That's just pretty much what's going to be needed. Next, you're going to need a Flower of Truth. This is one of the most necessary things, especially for the Necron fight. It is, I cannot describe how useful Flower of Truth is, especially for doing parkour, as it helps clear out all of the Wither Miners and the Wither Archers. It's just very useful, and I could not recommend it enough. It's pretty much past floor 6, you're going to need this. Have it at least 3-star. That's what I would put it as. It's just pretty much the bare minimum you need. But otherwise, Withered is also the reforge that you're going to want in it. I don't have an ultimate, but if you have the right enchanting level, then have Soul Eater, as the grace period is going to be ending soon. Um, Next up, you're going to want a bow, preferably a single shot bow. I just use a Rudon's bow because I'm too lazy. Mostly recommended would be a magma bow or something, or just one of the dungeon bows. Something you can kill the blazes with. That's the only thing I use my bow for. You're gonna want a mana flux orb at the minimum too. Mana Flux is just the strength, and the mana regen is going to be useful for fighting mini bosses, and so is the regen itself. It's just going to be very useful for fighting mini bosses, especially early into the floor where you don't have enough blessings to actually survive them. And that's just because the damage on floor 7 is so high that when it first came out, people thought it did true damage, even though it didn't. It was just so high that you took so much damage, and people were thinking that was true damage. But yeah, that's pretty much just how it was released, and that's why you would need a mana flux orb. Um, you're also going to need your dungeon orb, mainly for mini bosses like Shadow Assassin. I still avoid frozen adventures unless I have blessings. Those you're going to have to avoid. I have Super Boom TNT, obviously, and Defuse Kit. These are just the required things to do pretty much any dungeon. Spirit Leaps are very useful too. Um, as it's just a team item, and you can help out your teammates whenever they need help, for whether it's a frozen adventure, bomb defusal, or just a room where they can't find secrets. And finally, for the pet, we are going to have a blue whale pet with a dwarf turtle shellman. This is going to set you back a lot of money, as it's also going to have to be legendary due to its Archimedes skill. It gives you it increases your max HP, just adding that extra bit of survivabilities. And I get about 10,000 HP in dungeons with about 3,000 defense, and that's pretty much the minimum that you'll need for doing floor 7. And um, with all this being said, you're also just gonna have to have your own like capable. You have to use your own capabilities and skill, as you won't be able to survive without just being cautious or understanding what situations you're in. Even with this, I still die maybe once or twice in the dungeon, and that is due to my own fault. It's not due to anything else happening. It's always due to my own fault. I normally only die during Necron fight, specifically phase two, as it's much more difficult to teamwork and it gets really scuffed at the catacombs level I'm at. For skills, you're mainly just going to want to have at least combat 28. I'm almost 29. I'm just forging 20. And you're going to want at least Kata 25 or 24. I did my first floor 7 complete at Kata 24, but always having the highest possible catacombs level you can just helps in general. I recommend grinding floor 6 if you can't do floor 5, and also don't forget to have Berserk 25 as you don't want to get kicked from parties that you join. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the video. If you found this useful or enjoyed it, don't forget to try sharing it to other people who are possibly stuck on what they need for floor 7. If you need to ask any questions, put it in the comments down below. Um, if you want to, you can subscribe. I mean, it's free. Generic, insert generic phrase here, but I mean, like, for me, I'm only at like 15 subscribers right now, so any bit to 100 helps, as that's just the main peak that I need to reach right now. Hope you enjoyed, and see ya.